So, what I'd like to do today is give you some strategies so you can stay focused, motivated, and moving forward. And the reason why this is so important to me is because I know as a human being, when I have what I call a clear inner focus, when I'm really clear on what my goal is, I can drop in, touch it, feel it, and it'll motivate me to keep going. But that's not an easy place to get to within myself. A lot of times life will happen and my focus will get scattered and lost. And when my focus starts getting scattered, I start picking up heavier feelings. And then I go to bed with those heavier feelings, and they're there for me when I wake up. And it's really hard to get motivated again. And this isn't even when something matters. And I think job searching is an area that can really feel like it matters because so many other parts of life are dependent on our job, our income, and our livelihood. So, my goal today is to help you understand a little bit more about the challenge to staying focused, motivated, and moving forward. And I call it a challenge, not a problem, because it's normal. It's something we're all focused and face, or we all face no matter what we're moving forward in. And there is a solution every time, and you use a solution all the time, except for when you don't. I use a solution all the time, except for when I don't. And so we're going to talk about the solution, but it's like riding a bike. Okay, so that's the solution. I know what it is. I know I need to get motivated. I know I need to get clear. I know I need to get focused. I know I need to take a step. But my goal is to give you some strategies on how to do that because when the going gets tough, it's easy to get paralyzed. And so that's my goal for today is to give some how-to strategies on all of that. This isn't about me just vomiting in information, things that I know and you don't, because I know you do know. And I know you are already masters in your life and you know how to do this. So, have you ever had it said where someone says to you, the only thing stopping you is you? And I find that that can be a liberating and empowering statement when you know how you're stopping yourself and you know what to do about it. But it can be really incredibly demoralizing when you know you've moved forward in a lot of ways and you know you've gotten that big aha and you was able to move forward with that big aha. And what about when you can't? So that's the challenge. It's actually our thoughts that are the challenge. And when we think the thought of like, what if I can't? You'll see that often it is a heavy thought. It comes with emotions like frustration, and then more thoughts come with it. Like, what if I can't? What if I'm not? What if I don't know? What if I don't have? Thoughts like, I don't want. And our thoughts can just completely burden us and take away the motivation that we want and need to move forward. And it's not a problem. Our thoughts aren't wrong. We need them. The trick is once you notice that thought, you have access to the solution. And the solution is to notice the thought of I can't, I'm not, I don't know, I don't have, and the feelings that come with it anxiety, frustration, anger, resentment, and just breathe and accept them. So, if you will, right now, just check in with yourself what's going on for you. When you think of your next job, you probably have some I can thoughts and I can't thoughts. I want thoughts and I don't want thoughts. I don't know thoughts and I do know thoughts. And all of these thoughts can come to play and they become our mindset. And when our mindset is conflicted, it is really hard to move forward. So the solution is first to just become aware of what's going on and let ourselves know this is normal human stuff. This is part of our workings. This is part of the engine that helps us create change, to show up differently, to learn and grow within ourselves. And the ability to learn and grow starts with noticing the thoughts and loving and accepting yourself. This is normal human stuff. And this normal human stuff can sometimes be really hard sometimes. So you take those deep breaths, you become aware of what you're thinking and feeling, and you accept them. And you notice the thoughts of the scary what ifs and just turn them around. Wait a minute. What if I can? and start turning those thoughts around. You can't control thoughts, they're going to pop in. You can control your focus. So when you breathe, accept your thoughts of what if I can't. Now you can start to steer them to more empowering thoughts like, what if I can? So right now, if you would, just breathe. Okay, now what if I can? What if I am? What if I know? What if I have? Huh. When you think, what if I can, you start to find some thoughts about what you want. And then you can start imagining them, getting clearer within yourself, getting grounded in the world, and getting focused. So all of a sudden, those feelings of motivation can come through. The clarity of like one step I can take can come through. And more thoughts like, whoa, now I know what I want. And I actually believe it is possible. I can feel it within me. I can see it within me. I don't see it out there, but if I stay here, I can see, believe, and imagine it. And then I can ask myself, what's one step I can take today? And feel the motivation to just take that one step forward. Because change takes time. You get the new job, you'll be there, new challenges will come. It's not just about getting there, it's about the process of taking those challenges, getting clear on what you want, taking one step forward, noticing the change, noticing the growth along the way. Wow, it's growing. I feel better. And stay there and keep moving forward long enough to let the seeds that you plant not only take root, but grow and get solid and strong enough to maintain themselves. So you put yourself out there and then something doesn't happen. You take that one step and then you go backwards again. And that's where we get demoralized. And like when a plant is growing, like we see in this picture here, the plant starts to grow, but the flowers aren't there yet. And we take an interview and we didn't get the job yet. It's really important to not step on the plant. So how can you keep it alive? That's what we're going to look at by building a new mindset. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the mindset you currently have, because in there's going to be frustration. And when we clear that out and replace it, the only way to clear out some of the mindset things that are getting in the way is to replace it with a new one. And when you've replaced it with a new one, it's easier to show back up again. Now, I know this is all sounds like in theory, but I'm going to show you how to do it in a minute. We are absolutely going to address that start and stop, so that we don't plant a seed, step on it, plant a seed, forget to water it, overwater it, and then the soil dries so it can continue to grow. So what it really takes is a clear inner focus. So that means that your mindset is comprised of thoughts and feelings that are in line with your desires. Now, things are going to happen on the outside that are not going to match that inside desire. And that's where this app that I'm going to be showing you can help you to get back and refocused so you can go again. And every time you refocus on where you'd like to go, those thoughts become the strongest. So that when you're standing there, you are actually standing in your power, you're standing in your flow, and you're radiating an idea of confidence that becomes contagious. And we're going to do this by first building a mindset. We're going to look at the old mindset and build a new mindset. Using your imagination helps anchor those thoughts in so that they're your strongest thoughts, so that when a challenge comes up, you can respond from your confident inner mindset. So we'll get your imagination to be able to be focused on desired scenarios and practice the muscle of having your imagination go into the scary what ifs. Breathe and return and come back to the mindset we're going to build in the few minutes ahead. And when you do that regularly, it becomes your strongest mindset, so that when things happen, you're able to respond from that confidence and from that inner clarity. Another thing that it's going to take is a belief that it's happening. You know, when you have an interview and then you believe that possibly they're getting back to you, It's easy to stay open. It's easy to be who you are and live your life outside the job search. And sometimes you're going to have an interview and you're not going to believe that it went well at all. But you can return to that mindset and believe if it's not this one, next time I want it to be better, and still stay open so that you can look for your job and enjoy the life in front of you right here, right now, also, because now is what we have. And the strategies I'm going to give you is going to help support you in that a lot more. The reason why we have these strategies is because these challenges are real and they are going to keep showing up when you're in between two important places in life, where you are and where you want to be. Brings back in a deep trust in that you are being taken care of and your dreams, what you need to live your life, will be fulfilled. Does that feel true too, that it's based in a deep trust in that? And our thoughts can pinch off that trust. Our thoughts can pinch off that feeling of that connection to either God or some people don't believe in God and it's just the universe and the universe supporting you. I don't care what your faith is, but staying open to that belief and that trust is paramount to be able to stay on course. And that's what part of this process will do that we're going to do next. And the last thing it takes is consistent steps forward. You can't just sit here and envision what you want and do nothing. There's a saying, God can't move a parked car. And I love that saying, especially as a mom of 4 adult kids. And I see my kids go through the cycle of everything kind of getting a little stuck in their lives, and all of a sudden they start moving. But each little step started cascading all these new opportunities for him that he could continue to take. Everything's falling into place. Because he's done these 4 things, he has a clear focus of what he wants. He believes in himself. He can imagine what it is. And every time he takes a step, he goes back to imagining it and taking another consistent step forward. And this is a process that takes some inside work. And that's where the Mindset Magic app is something that I created that takes a tool that has helped so many people go from stress to clarity to consistent, motivated steps forward. I've used this process with a woman who has owned this multi-million-dollar business, yet she was really stuck on health issues. And when she first started doing this, she would write down all the things she didn't want, and the list was immense. And then we write down all the things you do want, and the list was also very long. But she did it for a while, and she was able to flip her focus and create these mindsets that supported her. And within 2 years, she ended up selling her business with a lot of blocks along the way, but kept returning to it and being amazed at being able to sell it for tens of millions of dollars. So it works on so many different levels on taking that normal human stuff of stress and conflicted thoughts to inner clarity, motivation, and steps forward. So it goes like this. We're going to look at building your goals, a clear goal, and then looking at a daily focus that you can use, and then daily steps you can take. When you build your clear goal, what you'll do with this app is first address your current thoughts, concerns, and heavy feeling emotions. One of the human problems that we have is we start feeling frustrated and ignore it, or you start feeling demoralized and ignore it. You hear someone that just got a job. I love that we started this and we heard James talking about the job he got. And it's depending upon if you're excited about where you're at, his story can be inspirational. But if you're in that place of really being demoralized in your job hunt, it's common to feel jealous, like, oh shoot, he got a job and I haven't yet, and feel bad when you hear successes. It's normal. And if you do feel bad, a lot of times people then start beating themselves up. Oh, I shouldn't feel bad about that. And it makes it harder and harder and harder to get the clarity and the motivation you need. But it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you want something, it's important, it matters, and you're not focused on the solution yet, and you're not focused on the clearest and next best step for you. You might be focused on somebody else's should. You might be focused on trying too hard. But when you get really clear and connected and then take that next inspired, guided step forward, it starts to be more fun, and you can get more into a place like where you can let go and trust and keep showing up. So it will help you address the current thoughts, concerns, and heavy feeling emotions without ignoring them, but then looking at them and accepting them so you can move them and change them and build a new mindset that's filled with the thoughts, feelings of what you'd like to experience next, your goal. So you can start to believe in it, imagine it, and take your steps from that clear focus. And then after you build that goal, it will give you the opportunity to focus on that goal every day. Write down small successes so you can believe that you're doing the right thing. You can start to say, good job, Patty, good job, self, and you can find that next step to do it again. And then it'll let you write down that next step, but we extrapolate that step out. In that last goal, here's what we do. A lot of times that next step you need to take, like you need to call and find out if they received your resume, but you can't do it. What we do is we take that goal and ask yourself, who do I want to know myself to be? Because human nature is human being. We're not human doings, but we do need to do. So when you take your task, I need to call and find out if they receive my resume, and you ask your heart, who do I want to be when I do that? It's easy to become aware of who you don't want to be. I don't want to be nervous. I don't want to look like someone who is desperate. I don't want to be someone who they hang up on. I want to be someone who knows myself as someone who is taking care of myself and doing what I need to do. And in that last part of this app, what we do is you also look at what you can't control, but you'd like either God or the universe to support you in. Because even in that example of calling to find out if they received your resume, there's going to be some fear. And you can't control those things, but you can get clear on what it is and stay open to the asking of what you'd like, because it supports you in staying stronger in yourself. And so when we do the task thing on this app, if it feels like a task you can't take, you can click on it and extrapolate it out into who do I need to be and what would I love the support from God or the universe in. I can't control, but at least if I say it, I'm going to be stronger and more confident. And if it were me, what I can't control is that the person a human being answers the phone when I call to see if they got my resume. So I'd like a human being to answer. I'd like them to get me to the right place. And I would like support and feeling encouraged that this is moving forward. And that's what this app is going to help you do in a short amount of time every morning once you set it up. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to walk you through the app a little bit with an overview. So to get to the app, what you do is you go to clearinnerfocus.com, and then you can click on the resources tab and then click on right down the drop down box, and it'll say Mindset Magic App. When you do that, it'll take you to this page. You click Get the App, and you will go here. On this page, you just simply fill in, put in a password, accept the terms, and sign up. And then you get to this page. So I encourage you to either do it along the way, or if you're someone who likes to single focus and then listen to what I'm doing and then do it on your own, either way, whichever works best for you. The next thing we need to do is look at this today's focus and start by creating a goal. So when you get to the goal, you create the goal here. Now this is just to set up your goal, and this takes a little bit of time. Once it's set up, it'll be on the home page and it won't take as much time. But here's where you type in the goal, and mine would be finding a job. And then over here, you type in what you don't want. Now, I know that a lot of positive people just don't want to look at the negative, but when you look at it, when you look at what you've been telling yourself that you're not even aware of, because our mindsets are running a program, they're automatic, they're habitual, and the way to build one is to just look at the old one and then replace the old thoughts with thoughts that you want to be thinking, feeling, and experiencing. So here's where we don't want to be pretty, and you dump down the things you've been thinking, feeling, and experiencing. And as you write down the feelings, it's been scientifically proven that when you name a feeling, you tame it. That means when I say, I don't want to be so frustrated and I don't want to feel so alone, you write it down, you slow it down, you bring acceptance to it, and it will move through your body and stop that thought that's coming with it from intruding and going over and over and over again in your head. So you're fighting your own thoughts. So I will do this here. If I would be thinking, I take a deep breath. So when you take a deep breath, it's something you can control. You're bringing your focus away from the outside world and looking within at the thoughts and feelings that are running around. And you just write them down. I don't want to be thinking, feeling, or experiencing. I can't do this. Pardon my typing. I'm sick of it. It's been too hard. Check in. What are you feeling? I don't want to be feeling frustrated. I don't want to be feeling aggravated. I don't want to be thinking the old job shouldn't have fired me or shouldn't have let me go. Maybe I made a mistake when I quit. All those things that are running around in your head. I don't want to be feeling doubt. When you write them down, you slow them down, and it helps them release. Then, on each thought up here and each feeling, you write what you want. Instead of thinking, I can't do this. In a magical world, it doesn't exist right now. The new job does not exist right now. So what you're wanting doesn't exist right now. But let's find out what it is. In a magical world, instead of thinking, and these are my thoughts on the topic, but what are yours? Instead of thinking, I can't do this, in a magical world, I want to be thinking, I found the perfect job. Instead of thinking, I'm sick of it, I want to be thinking, it's working really well. And I like the people. These are my thoughts. What are yours? Instead of feeling frustrated in this new magical world, when I'm living my goal, I want to feel like I'm contributing. I want to feel valuable. I want to feel, wow, while I'm standing in that new job, how do I want to be feeling? I want to be feeling valuable. I want to be feeling excited. I want to feel like I'm contributing. As I'm doing this, can you notice like the feelings that are actually feeling grounded when I show that feeling of the flow moving through you? Wow, I can feel so much better as I look at these thoughts. Instead of thinking I shouldn't have or they shouldn't have, I want to be thinking, I'm glad I went through it all to get to where I am. I love this new place. And instead of feeling doubt, I want to be feeling confidence. I already feel way better. So as you do that on that goal, then you create the goal. There it is, right there, finding a job. So in the morning then, I click my daily inspiration, and it'll give me a little...
Inspiration is that tiny little prompt inside you that says, hey, go in this direction, or hey, try this. Today, practice listening for your inspiration and exploring where is it leading you, just for fun.
So there's
when
a
you
little...
find a lull in a direction, just ask yourself, what might I do next? And then follow that answer.
So there's a little inspiration in the morning before I sit down and read my goal. Now, only the things I want, the mindset I want to be developing, the picture inside that I want to be imagining and strengthening within me, that I want to be leading my actions, because our mindsets help drive our behavior, is this. So in the morning, I just reread this and I imagine it. and I look at the last 24 hours and see where are tiny little successes I've seen this happen. Because when you look at the successes, it's like trusting that that seed that you planted is going to grow. It's like watering the seed. It's like enjoying the plant growing just as it is, knowing the flowers are coming. It helps you enjoy the journey more and get stronger and more solid in that new mindset and that new focus that's going to continue to lead your actions forward. So in the morning, you play your little thing, you come to your goal, read it, and then reflect for a minute. What are some little successes I found in the last 24 hours? I did not find the perfect job, but you know what? I was excited about an opportunity. I mean, for once, I actually read a job ad and I was like, wow, I would like this job. That's a success. And then I can continue, if there's more successes that day, to write them all in there and check them off. Then the next day when I read it, I might want to remind myself that I had success there and continue to write little successes here. All that does is it helps to anchor it in, to help you get stronger in it, to boost your confidence. So when you're in that interview, you're going to be more confident. When you have that bad interview, you can still feel confident inside and continue to get stronger in here, knowing the next interview is going to be better. If you have that bad interview, you can come over here and say, you know what? I don't want to be thinking I blew that interview. I want to be thinking, feeling, and experiencing my interviewing skills are good. So you can add to the list here too, when you hit a bump, daily returning to this. And then every day after writing the little and big successes, you ask yourself, what's one step I can take today in the direction of this? And in the beginning for me, when I do a new mindset, sometimes the only step I can take, the only one I can think of is come back and reread this because I don't feel like doing anything until this gets stronger. But other times, as I get moving along, what's one step I can take in the direction of this? I'll get that inspired idea. Like, oh, call your friend. That little prompt was sitting there for a long time, call Joe. Call Joe, find out how he's doing, see if he knows anything. Just call him. An inspired step is one that often doesn't make sense. But it's like moving that parked car. I move in one direction, and even if something doesn't come from that direction, I'm starting to move my energy so I'm open to see, feel, and connect with new opportunities in front of me. So I'm going to define that as my one step, save it as my check-in, and there it is. So then I can add more tasks for the day. I can add a task if I need to get focused on some other things, like taking care of things around the house and enjoying my life now. Or there could be other job steps I know I need to take, and I can add them here. And I can just type in the step like update resume. And as I write it, I can go, oh God, I don't want to do that. Okay. So if I don't want to update my resume, if I did want to do it, who would I want to be? I would want to be somebody confident, accurate, and complete. I just want to get this stupid thing complete. What can I ask for? I can ask for clarity. I can ask for help. I want help in getting the job. Okay, that feels good. I'm going to save that task. Now, the task is there. When you get to it, when you call the friend or you can't call the friend, check in. If you can't call the friend, extrapolate it out. If you can call the friend, just check it off your list. And it's gone for the day. That's how the app works. You can create up to 5 goals here. To break them down, you can create a whole bunch of tasks. You can check them off. When you're done with the goal, let's say this one, I got the job, it's all done, I feel really good. You can archive the goal, archive it right there, and start a new goal. That's how it works. You can add it to your screen to have it look like that by first putting the website on your, this is an iPhone, but Androids are pretty much the same. At the bottom of your screen, when you're doing this, you'll see a button like that. When you click that, it'll take you to this screen, and you scroll down and it'll say add to home screen. And then the last step is it just goes to here and it says add, and there, it's right there. If you want it on your computer, this is my computer.